I bought my mom some nice food. Freaking over a quarter of it's gone already. All right, let me hop in. Hello?
Howdy.
Let me boost you real quick.
Okay.
Give me another mic check, please.
Mic check. Mic check. 1, 2, 3.
Okay,
Hello.
sounds good. All right, I'm gonna mute myself then. I'll give you a couple minutes. You can talk about whatever.
Okay, this is only gonna take like 30 seconds because I gotta go anyways. But I like your idea of taking a coding job just temporarily, because it seems like maybe you're not totally sure what you want to do yet, but you got a few good ideas. And I think coding job is like a good way to kind of start off, because it's good to sit around and think about what you want to do next. But I don't think you need 24 hours a day to yourself to do that. And I think having some level of regularity is actually really good for clarity. So throwing away even 30 or 40 hours a week and like a coding job, and then saving that money so when you decide what you want to do, you have some money to be able to do it. Because like when I was starting doing my film stuff, I had that job that I did not like it at all, but I wouldn't have been able to pay for what I needed to if I didn't have it. So my comment, I used to recommend just for people to take time off and things, but now I usually recommend people go get a job for
Okay.
just some amount of time per week. And then that way, when they decide what they want to do, they have good savings and everything like that, you know? And it's having that level of work or regularity is like a good idea for your mental sanity, rather than having some kind of floaty, ethereal amount of work, whether or not it's like, because like even like if you're working at a coffee shop and you have like your regular hours and you're getting tips, they may not be super helpful for you to be able to structure your thinking around something else that's already pretty ethereal. And you have some pretty good skills that I think can pay you a lot better than what I got paid.
Yeah.
You know, cleaning the floor with paper towels. You can at least take a coding job.
Yeah.
That's probably going to pay you way better than what I got paid.
For sure.
And anybody can work kind of anything for like 6 months to a year and tolerate it. And I think you'd probably enjoy coding more than I enjoy cleaning the floor. So I just wanted to comment on that because you've kind of brought it up a handful of times. I think it's probably a really good idea just to take something that you have some moderate amount of skill for and can probably get paid way better than I did. And then when you decide what you want to do, then you can probably get started while you're doing that, or you can, which is my recommendation, by the way. The general rule of thumb, which like Mark Cuban and everyone suggests, is once your side hustle is making enough money that you can quit your main job, and then quit your main job. And I'd say like a year or two is a good test for that. So that's what I'd go for. Yeah, like Banana Cake said, routine is key. If you're working at a coffee shop, that's like not great routine, because you're getting tips and like your schedule's all over the place. So waking up at the same time every day and having that routine, so then your ethereal decision making about the future can be much healthier. So I think the coding job is probably a really good idea. And again, it's going to make you a lot more money than what a lot of my stuff made me. So
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's about it. I keep forgetting to mention that though, so I figured I would before I forget again.
All right. Thanks, dude. That's good advice. That's great advice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right. I would make a lot more with the coding job. I think the I think how it's gonna end up is, and I'm okay with this. I think what's gonna happen is I'm never gonna make more than my coding job.
I doubt that.
You doubt it, really?
I strongly doubt that.
Really?
Because in today's society, yes. Okay, here's the thing. This is like the true reality. In today's society, like everyone goes to college and everyone takes college jobs, everyone takes 9-to-5s. So the high demand is quickly becoming people who can fix stuff, or people who have like medium-sized businesses. So your ability to either start a plumbing business or a drone business is like really, really good, or a bar, or like anything. I mean, the economy might not be great right now, but your odds of succeeding in that and making money is like, it's kind of hard to like, for you as a smart person who, if you had the capital to do it, your odds of succeeding in opening a bar or like a drone business is like really, really high, assuming you live like, if you have like the right circumstances, like if you live in not a terrible area and like you have the money to do it. I'm literally on the opposite end, that I had no money and I live in like the worst area of all time. So my odds were fairly low and they're still challenging, but um, you have, I think, you have like way more chances of success than I did, because I didn't even know anything about what I wanted to do, and I think you would. So if you
Okay.
just take a job that'll pay you for a couple of years and you kind of think about it, whatever you decide to do, your chances of success are going to be much higher. I was stuck in the middle of nowhere with no money. So, and I'm in a state that does not like media or advertising or film. So I'm literally having to be the first to break ground in my state. And that's kind of what I want to do, because I want to take over the whole state. But if you wanted to just start somewhere where like there was already kind of enough of a market for it and you had some money, you'd be just fine. Like
Really?
you have,
You believe
yeah.
in me?
I think anyone could do it, and I think
Okay.
you already have the right. You're entrepreneurial. You're smart. You already know about a lot of the stuff you're interested in.
If you
You know,
say so, I'll take your word for it.
you could take a coding job and
Yeah.
make way more than what I did. I mean, practically minimum wage. So just take the coding job and just do a switch of pace for like a year, make some good money. A 9 to 5 is like not even all that much time out of your life too. And when you work a
Yeah,
9 to 5, you're not like consumed in thought with what you're doing, like I am doing running a business.
You're
When
absolutely
you leave
right.
9 to 5,
Yeah.
it's over.
It's
And
over
while you're
when
at
it's
work,
5. Yeah.
yeah. And the other
Yeah.
thing too is I spent all my time at my 9 to 5 like listening to podcasts or having my other monitor open with something else that I was paying more attention to than the actual work I was even doing anyways. You can't do that when you're like on set filming something, you know, or running a business, but you can do that with a 9 to 5. So you have plenty of time and thought and money if you take like a coding job or something like that. But I wouldn't try to get into real estate as like your main income source to start,
I'm not gonna do that because it's a
if that makes
bubble.
sense.
Yeah, it's a bubble
So
right
that,
now. It's probably
yeah,
gonna burst. But
that's my soapbox of how to get started, maybe restart it or doing something else, or
yeah, thank you for the advice. It's good.
yeah, I support that idea.
I mean, I was gonna get a manual labor job because I like manual labor.
You can
But
do that, but I would take a job that's balanced enough of something that you can handle for a year or two without it consuming your thought or making it hate your life. Because that made it harder for me too. Is I'm trying to study, but I'm like, I had a lot of times where I was so frustrated with my job that it made it kind of hard to even think about other stuff. Or people would actually make fun of me at I didn't talk about this a lot, but I got a lot of hate from everybody at both the two jobs that I had while I was trying to start my film business. I got a lot of hate. I got made fun of a lot. I don't think that's going to happen for you.
wow.
But I'd go to work and people would make fun of me for thinking about, because I had like some idea long term. I have a lot of ideas about working with like sustainable energy and stuff, but that's like way out there, and film, and I got a lot of criticism based on the kind of people that I worked with, which were Southerners at like a super evangelical based place, and I'm talking about getting into film. So it was just, I got a lot of hate for it, because I mean, if I had explained what I was doing to someone, they'd probably be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, so you don't want something that you totally hate. But I think like a coding job would be fine. You're like comfortable with that, I think,
I'm very
more than what I
comfortable with
was.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, doing what I was doing. I mean, I was doing something that was like literally disgusting and getting made fun of by everyone around me all the time.
You know what you know what that sounds like? You perfectly describe what I felt like, or the environment I was in when I was working at my church, bro.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, if you take a coding job, you're probably gonna have an okay time making a decent bit of money, and then have a lot of time to really think about what you want to do. And I think it'll turn out pretty fine. And I think it's just the hesitancy of maybe knowing.
Yeah, it's just like I feel like I'm getting old, so it's like I feel like I don't have a lot of time left. I don't know when I'm gonna die. I feel
Everyone feels like that. That cares.
Yeah.
That just means that you care, because I feel like that.
You feel like that? Oh, bro, you're so young.
I think you are too.
Oh,
But that's
really? You
just
think I'm young? Thank you. Everyone calls me old because everyone I know is like younger than me. So I'm the
well,
old
I see
guy.
people starting businesses at like 50,
Yeah.
60. So I mean, yeah, you're good. It's
Okay,
just the
thanks.
urgency
Thanks.
that you don't want to lose time. It's
Yeah, I
okay.
don't want to lose time. But I think you're
But
absolutely
you could
right
start an
though.
amazing
Yeah.
business in like a year or two.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. I think you're right because I think I can accomplish more with what I want to do or my general vision if I had money. So,
I think even if you did something like else, I think
mhm.
if you spent 3 months trying to get good at coding, I think you could like get an insane coding job.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Thanks for saying that.
I think you could
Yeah.
I think you could do really well at whatever if you could just buy yourself enough time, like 2 or 3 months to get good at something like coding, or if you got refreshed with your engineering or something like that. But I had nothing. I had like no
Mm.
I had literally nothing. I couldn't like get good at something again. I had nothing. So it was like be a janitor or uh yeah, like not much else. There's maybe like a few other things. I was good with
Wow.
medical equipment, but that doesn't necessarily pay a whole lot better, to be honest.
That's a true motivational story from janitor to business owner
Yeah.
at that age. It's crazy.
Well, you can go from coder to business owner for sure, especially in today's climate and wherever else you are.
The only thing that that I learned is I need people better than me. I need, because I can't no. I want people. I feel like I need people to work for me to do stuff because I can't do everything myself. Like you're doing everything
Okay.
yourself, Ali. I think that's very impressive. I mean, yeah, I feel like I can't. I'm not capable enough.
Well, here's what you don't want though. You don't want like a business partner. You want to start something yourself at least, or be the owner.
I
Trust
do.
me.
I want to start it. Yeah.
I've already had clients now that
Uh-huh.
have a like 50-50 partner, and it's a nightmare to deal with them. I can't imagine what it's like to be them. Like, yeah.
Mm.
A big piece of advice that I've seen a lot of people give is you should start something yourself. If you're going to have another guy, like be good at something different, and one guy should be the owner, which happens a lot with tech companies. There's kind of one guy that's the business guy that started it, and then and he owns it. And then there's one guy that's like the guy actually making stuff. And then they kind of just split the money. But one guy is clearly the guy making decisions while the other guy is like making it. But you don't want to be just like 50-50 on everything kind of sort of thing, or 50-50 owners. You don't want that. It's okay to have people working for you, but if you start something, you want to be the guy that owns it.
Yes,
Because I brought people on
owns
pretty
it.
early.
Yeah.
But they were like editing for me, and I was paying them. They weren't making decisions. That's okay. That happens too.
That's what I want. I want employees. I want to hire really good employees and give them a lot of money.
Ideally, first you want to just be making all the money and have a decent paycheck of like 100 plus a year, and then you can bring somebody on for like 30 or 40, and then that makes it so now you're making like 300. That's what you really want to look for. An example would be like an editor. So let's say you're a filmmaker, you're probably spending about a 30 or like you're shooting weddings. If you're shooting weddings, about a third of your time is editing. Okay. You're making 100 to maybe 90 to 130 a year. So if you hire an editor, you can pay them about 30 or 40 a year. Well, that frees up 30% of your time, which means now you're making like, if you were making 90, now you're making 120.
Makes sense.
Or, well, no, that's bad math. Now you're making, but you get what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, I get
your
what you're
return
saying,
is
yeah.
much higher. I'm a little too tired to do that kind of math. But you're making a lot more money compared to what you're paying them, because you're paying them to do like the least of your job in a way. So you want to hire out for two things. You want to hire out for stuff that's got really high return on investment, or like something that's kind of a waste of time for you, like the least paying thing, like editing, or like a really high return on investment. Your number one return on investment is a secretary / salesperson. That is like your highest return on investment. They might cost more,
that.
but they can increase your revenue by like 10 times. That's what all my super rich friends tell me is the first thing you need to hire is just a salesperson, because they're just going to sell stuff all day, and then you're going to have to hire people to make that. So that's what my friend Nate told me, who's like, he started a business where he was just fixing plumbing essentially. And now like 3 or 4 years ago, he'd just go to people's houses. He's like a fix it guy. And now he's like a multimillionaire and he just trades stocks all day. And
Wow.
like
Okay.
pretty much since I met him like 4 years ago, now he's like one of the richest people in like a 3 hour radius, which is huge in America because there's rich people everywhere. Um, so, and it'll take about a year to get your business started. It'll take you about another year to get it kind of where you really want it. And then it'll take another year to the point where now you're really starting to kick butt and you're probably pushing 3 or 500 if you're being efficient or depending on what kind of business it is. And after about 5 years, you could be a millionaire and you could be hiring people. That's kind of the timeline for the like average efficient startup. For something that's like not incredibly hard. That'd be like wedding businesses, coffee shop, bar, drone business, fix it / construction business. That stuff is all like low barrier to entry, high rate return. So yeah, you can do it.
Thanks for saying that. Appreciate it.
Yeah. But all right, I'm gonna head out so I can go play board games.
Okay. Yeah, have fun with that. It means a lot coming from you because you've done it. You've done it, Ali. That's why I always say this, but I respect you a lot because you've done it.
I would say I'm at the point where I've started it up successfully. I've had a good proof of concept, and I've had a lot of people pay for my exact rate that I want without any scoff. For the decision that I made was I'm not going to charge I'm not going to raise my client pool first and then raise my rates, because the client pool is not really big enough to do so, because then they're all going to be mad when I'm raising my rates. So my decision was that I was going to have a few clients and then get good and then raise my rates and then go for more clients. So my amount of clients has pretty much stayed the same over the last year, which normally it's like once you have more business than you can handle, you raise your rates. But again, I don't want to raise the rates on the current clients, which is what's going to happen. So I tried to raise my rates first. And now people are finding out who I am really quickly, and like my stuff got nominated or whatever. And I'm launching my website and I'm like, hey, everybody, I'm here. And everyone kind of sees that. And now I have my rates, and people are coming to me like as if I'm already well established, because you only need about, like 5 to 10 previous jobs that look amazing to really land clients and show proof of work. So now that I have 5 to 10 really strong videos, which is not a lot, I can just say I charge this much per day, and no one really scoffs at it. So those are two approaches you can take. I probably took the less often pick. Normally you would kind of just raise your prices over time as you get more and more clients. But
Gotcha.
yeah, or you can add higher cost things. So let's say you start a bar and you have like kind of lower end beers. Then a year later, once you have higher, you're making more money, you've got more clients, you can release a higher, more expensive beer. And then some of those same clients will take that higher offering, which is another way I'm going to do it. Because a year or two from now, I will want the potential opportunity to raise costs even more, and I'm going to have a bunch of clients already. So to justify that, I'm going to offer a higher cost for better cameras.
Yeah, or you can your Unreal technology, your gray screen. You can be like, hey, I can gray screen this in if you pay me more.
Right. That's what I'm doing. Literally this week is I'm now saying I am now offering Unreal Engine backgrounds as like an add-on. So now it's not, I'm just forcing everyone to pay that new rate. Because my average rate is about, I don't care if Stream knows this, but the minimum rate to basically hire a camera operator and a director for a day is about $2,000. And that's a pretty good number.
That is, yeah.
But let's say I want to do a product video. I do kind of want more than that. And I think a lot of people are going to take the Unreal VFX stuff. So that's about, if you want 1 day of working with Unreal for one environment is about $1,000 extra, which takes me about 30 minutes to an hour to make that environment. Or kind of anybody, not just myself. It takes about 30 minutes to an hour to make an Unreal environment for a product. And then, of course, you're kind of going to be working with it and manipulating it throughout the day. So that now takes it to $3,000 a day. for them to add that tack on. And then eventually when I get an R5 or like a red camera, that's going to be an extra 1,000 a day. So now we're at 4. And likely if they're hiring for something like that, it's going to be a 3 or 4 day job, which is now like 12,000 for like 3 days. So that's kind of a little bit more of an advanced knowledge, but
that sounds good. That's
it is good to be aware of when you start how you're going to approach raising your prices or doing something like that.
That's good insight. Yeah, Banana Cake said we should start a podcast.
I think you should have a podcast where you just bring on different streamers.
I would
different
love
artists.
that. I would love that. Yeah.
That would be cool. And you could have like the same people on, I'd say 2 or 3 times a year. Cause like Joe Rogan, he has like Bill Burr on like, 3 or 4 times a year. It's not like it's the Joe Rogan and the Bill Burr podcast,
Yeah.
But he has the same people on sometimes over and over again. So you could have like Nika on a few times a year. You could have Barry on. You could have my friend Endeavor on a few times a year. That sort of thing. I would come on a few times a year. That'd be cool.
That would be cool. That'd be fun. Yeah.
But all right, man, I really got to go. So.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Thanks once again. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'll leave you a lurk and a host. Have a good
thanks,
stream,
bro.
man.
You have fun, bro.
Appreciate it. See ya.
See ya. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Allequeen.